Okay, we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about grouped quantitative discrete data. This is the second lesson in Unit 4, so let's get started. When do we consider the data to be grouped? When should I group the data rather than list each data value separately along with its frequency? Well, when you've got a whole bunch of different values, each with its own frequency, and those frequencies are pretty low, then you really don't get a sense of any patterns or any trends in that data. So you should probably group them into what's called class intervals. So apparently I was surveying a bunch of people, and I guess it was the number of people that did something. Maybe it was the number of people that were on a bus at a certain period of time, I'm not sure. But I counted from 0 to 9 people 3 times. I counted somewhere from 10 to 19 people 8 times. I counted from 20 to 29 people 6 times, and I counted from 30 to 39 people 3 times. So just on regular intervals, I was counting the number of people that were somewhere, and that's what I came up with. It really doesn't matter what the situation is. The modal class, though, that's a definition you need to know. That's just going to be, instead of the value with the highest frequency, it's going to be that group that has the highest frequency. So in this case, it would be the group from 10 to 19 people. So now let's look at the bar graph. It looks a little different, so let me tell you why that is. The first bar covers everything from 0 to 9. And then the second from 10 to 19, then 20 to 29, and 30 to 39, just like my table did. But there's still some gaps. There's a gap between 9 and 10, there's a gap between 19 and 20, and there's a gap between 29 and 30, and there's a reason for that. It's because the data are still discrete, they're whole numbers. There are decimal values between 9 and 10, but I'm not interested in those because I didn't see any decimal values between 9 and 10, not including 9 and not including 10. Obviously that wouldn't happen. So that's why there's little gaps between those bars. But once I switch to including decimals, or I'm measuring something that has a range of decimals, then things will change. And we'll talk about that in a future lesson. But for now, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow.